On the 29th of May 2015, when President Muhammadu Buhari took over the mantle of leadership to rule over the largest black nation in the world and its over 200 million people, many saw it as a light that finally appears at the end of the tunnel. Many Nigerians based their optimism on the fact that President Buhari, a former military head of state, had been tested and trusted and would be able to reposition the economy of the country for the benefit of all. President Buhari had assured Nigerians that he would tackle corruption and insecurity and develop the economy. He said he would pick competent hands to run the nation's economy, which he maintained was in shambles. It was also based on the same promises that Nigerians gave him their mandate and re-elected him in 2019 for another 4-year term in office. Many believed in him and saw him as the messiah that will rescue the country from the perceived maladministration of its past leaders. It is 8 years down the line, and the question is, what impact has the economic policies of President Buhari had on Nigerians? Prince Akintola Omolaoye is one of the stalwarts of the All Progressives Congress in Osun State. He believes that the outgoing administration of President Buhari failed to meet the expectations of the generality of Nigerians, as he would be leaving behind an inflation-ravaged economy with skyrocketed prices of foods and related goods and services. Similarly, unemployment rate rose to the second highest level in the world.
The parameters to be used to measure the improvement made by a given government under any administration economically have some fundamental indices to be examined. The standard of living, the quantum of financial capability and purchasing power of the people in a given economy, and the GDP, the gross domestic product, and the value of importation and exportation. If importation exceeds exportation, it means that such a government is run at loss, and you are actually you are depleting the foreign exchange that you ought to have gathered through your exportation. The aim of any government is to relieve the people, to bring them on board, to improve upon their living standard, and to actually give them all the basic needs of lives that are germane to the sustenance of good living. The implementation of economic policies had and is still having its own negative sides on Nigerians.
Speaking in the same vein, a member of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) in Osun State, Dr. Soji Akekpelu, maintained that the country's currency, the naira, was left on a free fall against the dollar and other international currencies with the increase in the exchange rate. He maintained that to crown it all, the federal government embarked on an ill-conceived naira redesign policy, which further plunged the nation into an economic recession and left millions of Nigerians poorer. Dr. Akekpelu, who also bemoaned the rising debt profile of Nigeria under the Buhari administration, maintained that Nigeria would need a divine intervention to wriggle out of its present predicament.
Things have never been like this in this country. Most of us that witnessed Buhari's administration during the military days, we were expecting a tougher action from him. And knowing him to be a no-nonsense general then, I don't know what has really happened to Buhari. It's the reverse of the case now. They have made people poorer. In fact, if they calculate the percentage, there is no more average Nigerian now. It's either rich or poor. See the debt profile, for instance. How much money did Jonathan administration left as debt? Is it up to 30 trillion? See what we are coming up with now. About 70 something or even more than that. Over 70 trillion.
Speaking on their expectations from the incoming administration of the president-elect Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, Prince Omolaoye expressed optimism that he would be able to salvage Nigeria's economy from its challenges.
Nobody knows what is happening to the government as such, but government, the political operators are feeding fat. They are not experiencing the hardship ordinary Nigerians are actually going through, if the fact will be said. And this very man that is coming on board is strongly advised to ensure that things are made easy for ordinary Nigerians to say, thank God we have had a good change and positive change of their expectation.
Dr. Akinpelu, on the other hand, urges Nigerians not to raise their hopes high so that the wound of disappointment will not be too deep if it eventually comes.
I don't expect any change. I just pray we don't have it worse than it is now. Because why I'm saying I don't expect any change is because Buhari said it, Asiwaju himself said it, that he was going to continue from where he left off. And Buhari has been saying it times without number, that Asiwaju will continue from where he left. So what are we expecting?
They, however, agreed that the changes will be a gradual one and the impact may not be felt immediately because of the level of damage Nigeria's economy has been plunged into. Oluchi Amuda for Deadline.